2015. And so we have another date, potentially with a really great set of games. I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys have.
Yeah. It's going to be a Druid from Thijs and Rogue from Ostkaka.
The advent of living roots populating the board so frequently, there's also a case for cards like Fan, but I think you still want the SI, you still want the backstab. Even Eviscerate to a certain degree is not too bad in some cases if they just, with Savage Combatant being such a popular pick, it's not too uncommon to like use Eviscerate early on in the game as Rogue. But you still want the threat, the minions that can complete out the board.
Well, this hand does answer the Darnassus Aspirant, but I think Ostkaka might be pushed to use that coin. It is something I'm sure he doesn't want to do.
It used to be, because Pilot Shredder was such a problematic card for Rogue. You can deadly poison it, and you'd still take like 9 to 12, 13 damage sometimes, because the minion was just so resilient. Versus Savage Combatant, you can actually clean remove it, like we were mentioning. But it is still a big threat that you want to take out. Like, it's just not as big as it used to be. And it just so happens that it's okay. Like, Druid doesn't really want to be playing Keep of the Grove to the face anyways. So that's like the power of the imminent threat as opposed to...
Make that play as, you know, just dropping a weapon drops another Blade Flurry potential. And that's even more relevant now than before. Because before you could play things like Oil.
Van Cleefs, but he doesn't really have those huge, crazy, like... Leroy's and Shadow Steps and whatnot. In fact, he just has to win with board control. He chooses also...
Yep, that's the idea, but it might not work out too well.
I
mean, you do combo, but you're comboing against very mediocre. You can Shiv and SI. Oh, no, he's going to go for it. Very aggressive for the board.
I think that's what Rogue really wants. Just keep the board as clean as possible. They're OCD in a way because of it. They just keep wanting to scrub everything as clean as possible, so that way they can have these minions, which don't seem...
What can we expect this turn? Probably Wrath for 3. Standard 2 1/1s. The 1/1s are quite effective against the Deadly Poison weapon, Hero Power. Fairly low tempo turn, but I mean, it seems like the Druids do just miss a turn or two. It's just the way that they roll out typically.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, when Druid rolls out all that momentum and tempo, it's like, you really need to stop it, but when it doesn't, it just seems like it can't do anything. And because the hero power still doesn't have much effect. It's not putting anything on the board. It's not the most amount of damage, and the life gain it has is somewhat negligible sometimes until the late stages of the match. Emperor Thorson here seems to be the foregone conclusion, just because you don't have anything else to do. But
pretty good. Like, you can keep her and well, not keep her. You can Ancient of Lore and use the Darnassus Aspirant next turn together.
You're not very optimistic, though. I think because Rogue has holding like a decent amount of cards. Oh man, look at this aggressive move again. See, this is one of the things that I was thinking. I was like, wow, he just drew Tomb Pillager. That's convenient for the mana usage. But like, Rogue is just gonna keep leveraging his board, and you just have to imagine as if the Cold Blood is kind of like an Oil, where it's just,
yeah,
I'm just gonna use this board and use my as 8 damage, 12 damage, maybe even, you know, around there instead of 4.
Well, he will get multiple damage hits, but the issue is that he might just die to a combo.
Guide my lands.
Like, if the Ancient is still up and he draws a Force of Nature, that's
also a good question. Maybe you can set up a lethal that way. Yeah, actually, you're right. You don't kill the Aspirant. You just go face. Because then you have 15 damage, and then you force your opponent to Ancient of Lore heal. So, yeah, I think that's the right play. Good observation, Crip.
Wild Growth. And still combo, if you draw it. So, Thijs could still win this game. This is not over.
Now, not out of the question. Right now, we're looking for Eviscerate off the top. Eviscerate would be 20 damage. For this turn.
No. Well, yeah, you could. Like, prep Eviscerate, prep Eviscerate. Good luck.
Yeah, you're right. Not the prep.
Oh, that could work. Oh no, he's going for the trade.
Yeah, doesn't want Swipe to ruin him. Perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Man, that Cold Blood has done 12 damage so far, on top of the Farseer hitting every turn. Again, getting so much mileage out of something.
He's actually alive because he heals himself. He's alive to the board. So he actually could kill both.
Yeah, but the problem is now you're still giving him. You still have a chance to win, but it depends on what you think is more likely. Is it more likely he has spells to kill you now, or he has spells to draw into things that kill you later?
Well, the Van Cleef would be a 6/6. No, kind of work. All right.
Okay.
Goes for the super safe play. Now it's a Swipe that will do some decent damage here.
Swipe would make the rogue life really difficult, but it gives it a draw. And Thijs has 3 draws. 1 with the turn, 2 with the wild growth. What?
He's kind of throwing his win condition. A defensive combo would mean 2 Savage Treants into the 6/6, 1 into the 7/1, and a Hero Power into the 3/3. Oh, I guess he's doing it.
He doesn't want to take any chances. This is his one chance to do it. If he was able to still kill the Farseer without having Hero Power, he certainly would Wild Growth, but he now needs to. So he doesn't want to Wild Growth, realize he needs to do this, and then get in trouble. Fan's really nothing, just cycles through the
Lose
deck.
3 mana.
Yeah, lose 3 mana, draw a card. No!
Oh god!
Gain back the 3 mana! Wow, both of these guys with just pretty empty hands, but the good thing is that Wild Growth can cycle, Preparation only can cycle with the Catch Sand.
Well, Prep can combo. That is relevant.
Yes.
It might give him an extra out.
But I don't know if you even want to kill Thalnos. It's like one of those things that you brought up.
You don't want to kill Thalnos. You want Thalnos to kill itself.
Yeah, you want to silence Thalnos.
Yep.
Oh my. If Ragnaros plays and goes to the face, you get 9, and if Rogue can't kill him, I mean, that's your out. You gotta go for it.
I guess so. Ostkaka will get 2 draws though. I think Ostkaka is above 50% to win this game. I think Ostkaka is actually probably in like the 60s or 70s, especially with that. Oh no, not with that though. Oh no! What?
But you know, the thing is, he still.
I can't believe this is happening. Those are the worst draws in the entire deck in consecutive order.
Oh man, that's Drake then. Drake gives you best chance for some kind of taunt, right? A Wild Growth? Oh, because he wants to Hero Power again too. Hero Power and taunt. That also makes sense. He's giving up his tokens for it. No, it doesn't do anything. Farseer number 2. I think he played.
He's got another combo. So all he has to do is stay alive.
It doesn't matter. He was gonna win next turn anyways. I think. Like putting down to 8. No!
Wow!
He's gonna show
that.
Oh,
that is some real RNG there. What
card game?
What was worse than that?
Card game.
Those are both decks that I think can win fairly well. That's Warrior now. I think this is actually
The card, etc. It's because a rogue has a finite amount of damage and a finite amount of minions, and because it's so spell intensive, it doesn't have access to much pressure if you can't forcibly seize the tempo. However, Warrior's lost some of its best tools. It's lost Death's Bite, which is a great answer to Violet Teacher. Warrior, from our opinion, it's an interesting perspective.
Well, it's a good start to a rogue hand, I'd say. Like this type of hand can lead to a really disgusting game if he gets a gadgets in the nick of time here.
Followed by prep, conceal prep, cold blood.
Well, in some scenarios, those consecutive draws are awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it's really cool because it feels like Ostkaka has found, like, when he was playing with the Cold Bloods on the Farseer, it felt like he found a way to win that was not something that a lot of people would have done. You know, it's a very aggressive route that ended up not working out, but I would say like 8 or 9 times out of 10, that's a win. To answer the Deadly Poison Dagger, which is just a really nice curve, 3, 4, 5, followed by a couple bashes, which line up very well against some of those smaller threats from Rogue.
All right, well, that's the Gadgetzan you wanted.
Gadgetzan, and I mean, he's also got Azure Drake to start drawing stuff before it too. So he's got some really good tools. I'm really liking Rogue's hand, even though Dragon Warrior's curving out pretty well.
The choice to kill the... I mean, I know it's in the deck, right? Execute is in this warrior deck, but we haven't seen it in like forever.
Right. It's weird. He did cut one of the executes. I don't know. It's one of those weird things where you have so much stuff that you want to jam pack in a dragon deck because there's so many synergies across the board. Maybe they did end up dropping a couple of removal pieces. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, pretty good opportunity. This is again one of those games where the control deck is on the ropes the whole time against the rogue, but we've seen that those are winnable.
Yeah, definitely. Winnable if they just flip the switch and Rogue can. You're going to need to establish the board and hope that your minions can attack 3 times to face or more.
Thank you.
All right. Well, looks like it's all out on the minion. Goes for the face hit. I think against something that wasn't a warrior or a priest, you'd probably trade there. But the
man, if only Bash was able to do 4. You know what's so funny, Crip? Back when GVG and all of them were first starting to really hit its stride along with Nax Ramus, everyone kept saying that 4 was no longer a good health. Everyone was saying 5 was the key. That's why 5/5s were really good.
that
Because
was
Shredder
4
was
again.
4 attack.
Yeah.
Shredder was 4 attack, Swipe was around, Death's Bite was around, so everyone wanted to play 5, but now it seems to be 4 is the really inconvenient number still. Because we lost access to so much of that. And that's what people were talking about when you're talking about extending the power levels of cards.
Well, it's time to draw.
Here we go. So Eviscerate with Cold Bloods, that's a lot of draw potential here. And damage potential. Would you Cold Blood first? Because you might be able to pick up Prep. Yeah, because Prep, Eviscerate, and then you can Dagger for the Deadly Poison next turn. I like it. Yeah, very, very small, subtle thing, but could make a difference if you're really trying to squeeze it out all kinds of efficiency, especially against a player like Thijs. This is the mark of a good player once again by Ostkaka.
And Thijs can't really do much to remove this whole board. He can bash down either the Drake or the Gadgetzan. He's gonna go for the Drake.
Yep, coin. Try to see if you can once again kill off this other.
Oh, you can kill both off because of the Thorson. Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that.
person. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really strong from this point. And well, you know, with a prep, that also could be a big Van Cleef. He just used 2 of his removal options. So you have to imagine that you know, he doesn't have many ways to strike back. Oh man. Prep
fan.
You probably play conceal after you drop the.
No, I don't think there's any concealing here.
Okay.
I think you've seen a lot of removal, and you're just banking on this not
10-10.
being victimized by it.
Is the execute come now? You know, I'm really starting to think maybe.
Maybe it's just time to Ysera. Looks like it.
Ysera tries to draw something big. The
That is
Dream's
big.
not bad against the Van Cleef, except there's a conceal play.
Yeah.
So now he needs, like, Brawl.
No, he's just gonna spam taunts next turn and hope for the best. But that is gonna be quite hopeful.
Yeah, he just dumped everything. Farseer as well. He goes in. It's basically a hot pot at this moment. Just throw it all. Making quite the stew here. And back over to the warrior. Needs to immediately try to do something. He doesn't have a dragon to even get taunts.
Yeah, as it stands, you lose to the board. That's not good enough. You have to slam. I don't know what can come out of this. But maybe there's actually a brawl in here that Ysera wins and gets everyone salty. Looks like that's not the case, though.
Except Thijs. Thijs wouldn't be salty. That is enough. More than enough. And Ysera not able to do anything against the might of the 10-10 Van Cleef. These conceal Van Cleef plays from Ostkaka are so ballsy, man. I don't know how he sits down.
I think maybe the players...
Cards pulled if that deck was any good at drawing those cards. We'll see. Druid versus Priest. This time Ostkaka's on the Druid. Thijs...
Ramp is too rampant. And it might be this time. I mean, that's a double wild growth hand, but I don't think you keep 2 wild growths ever.
Yeah, well, okay. It's not that you don't ever keep double wild growths, it's that if you do, there's a huge risk associated that you might not actually play the second one because you filled your deck out with plays from turn 3. There's no way you can draw another card with it unless you cycle it at 10. And as a result, you're just down cards and no minions on board.
Yeah, he does have a good curve going out of it, though. The Raptor into the Keeper. Very nice. Not going to work all that well from what we see, though.
Not really, because the way Priest plays, they play like a half mana curve above your opponent. So the Warrest Agent's like really 2.5, maybe even 3 mana. Same with like Twilight Guardian, same with the Blackwing Technician. All those cards are just slightly above their mana cost, which just makes it...
Pass. It is going to get punished by Swipe, and I think that's what Thijs is considering. Well, too bad.
Yeah,
Swipe it is.
Swipe is a punish. First, see what comes out. I don't think there's anything really of value, even if it...
That's awesome.
That's pretty funny. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. Especially if it gets to the point where Priest can steal that. That would be hilarious.
That's true, actually.
You said that there's not many targets worth taking in the Druid if you're the Priest player, but that might be one of them.
Savage Combatant, if it dies to Holy Nova, would actually draw Ostkaka a card.
Right, because the Northshire Cleric. But I think it's also really... I think it's just as good next turn.
Well, Thijs is thinking about playing Power Word Shield on the existing minion versus the taunt minion that he'd produce next turn. Guess they both win.
Wow. From Oasis Snapdraw to my Exna to... at this point, it's really just like... This 2-attack minion is not going to be doing too much.
Could. If he gets a dragon here, it'd be great. He does not. Oh, I would definitely not attack that. Oh, I guess he's thinking of stealing the Keeper.
Yeah. He's going to steal the Keeper of the Grove. Even though Northshire Cleric is awesome on paper, I still feel like you want to take the more stats on board. Drawing cards can be irrelevant. You can have 8 cards in hand but still be afraid of combo. I think it's still pretty good opportunity, yeah, to use the Savage Combatant because it just so happens to kill off this 2/6. And your hand is not the best for Thorson. You can still use it after Ancient of Lore as well, which is something people don't really think of too often. They think, oh, Thorson curves into the Lore, but Lore can also be played before Thorson to give you more cards to hit and reduce.
Alright, well, let's take a minion. Let's kill the Northshire.
Change your mind.
Yeah, take the more powerful minion. Savage Combatant, though. Oh my
Number 2.
god. 4/5, with just a hero power alone.
Yeah, that's very nice. I wonder if he's gonna... No, there's no point in attacking anything but face here.
Yeah.
If you're getting Holy Nova, you're getting Holy Nova.
No.
He already used Power Word Shield, so it doesn't feel like you can get punished too much for not hitting. Not to mention that
into Azure Drake. Just again, like a very desperate play.
Is someone injured?
it looks like he wants to heal and draw a card, pick up more options.
Oh, this could be a very bad option. And it is a very bad option.
Yikes. So we choose to pick up a card, which doesn't pay off. Force Nature number 2.
Your Emperor will stay alive, that's great. And I think there's a very real expectation that it would stay alive.
Well, here's the fun thing. Now, because Force Nature is 5 mana each, you actually have a 12 damage 2-card combo that I don't think they're necessarily expecting, because if you play Savage Roars, you're like, oh yeah, I can't really do anything. Nope, 2 Force Natures for 12.
Holy Smite with the Azure Drake is a kill on the Emperor, but you have 2 big problems right now, not just one.
I wonder.
What about the Twilight Whelp? You think you should play that? You've already been swiped once.
Yeah, the thing about the Twilight Whelp is, you can't really heal your
the
minion.
heal lets you, yeah, the heal lets you keep the...
Oh, okay. Oh, just from the board. Counting the Savage Combatant, it's, he goes for the Force of Nature, and I guess he can also play the Keeper if he wants to just get onto the board.
Sure.
But if this isn't a big signal that he has the combo, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Thijs has anything he can do about it. He just kind of has to take it and hope that he doesn't have it.
Change your mind.
Yep.
Man, this is the struggle of the priest against the druid. Once again, Thijs is going to drop this match. He's going to have to kill the aggro shaman of Ostkaka in order to stay relevant in the series.
Yeah, that might be a little bit difficult to do. He does have 2 decks that are tailored quite well to do that, but we have seen that with some draws, the aggro shaman is basically unstoppable. And we have to also consider that Ostkaka's not... A lot of why Thijs has been successful with dealing with shamans is because of the big taunt minions and that kind of stuff. And the Hex might play into that.
That kind of stuff is more of like how Shaman has to adapt around the burst, but also a bigger implication that Priest still can't finish the Shaman, and Shaman can just sit collecting cards for a while to try to end the game.
It's going to be a very different Shaman game here, I believe. Looks like the Trog opener is going to have a big impact, though.
Yeah, the Trog gives so much weight to the actual cards because they deal damage and they have an effect. So, Ancestral Knowledge, deal 2 damage, draw 2 cards. Feral Spirit, deal 2 damage, summon 2 2/3s. So, all these different
play
things.
the Northshire.
Is someone injured?
Oh!
Wow, he's gonna get destroyed.
Wow! Even more than we realized.
Yeah. So now Lightning Bolt is a relevant thing to snipe something and then also buff it even more. I think so. So if Lightning Bolt's the only 1 mana overload, then you don't have anything else to be afraid of because you can't.
Oh,
well,
that works. But I was thinking that Lightning Bolt face might actually be the play.
What I don't like about that is the overload, and I want to be able to play 4 mana next turn for sure. But I guess it also does set up your... It does set up your Doomhammer a lot worse because, you know, you don't have that 5 mana access.
Oh, man!
Pretty sick. That's exactly what you're looking for with this Pyromancer. Just not like the flashy kill the board full of 1/1s of Vada Teacher token. Just like gain some tempo, threaten your opponent, and now... The Shaman are very powerful. Just have to be careful.
Alright, let's see what it is. Oh, we don't get to see the hero powers, damn. It's more.
Oh, there it is. The Hunter hero power. That is when Thrall has hit the first level of Super Saiyan, and the full health. I kind of like that. But maybe he's just gonna ignore it. say you can keep your minion. You already used Abusive Sergeant, so
Yeah, the more I see this, the more convinced I am this is the best play. I mean, it sucks to have a passive play against this deck, but it's just so much better in terms of results.
well, I mean, the passive play would be to be very defensive and just keep clearing the minion. And now it's going. This is actually a very aggressive play to lower the life and just be like, okay, put the more health on the Twilight Guardian, or do you want to put it onto the Pyromancer?
I think against any other shaman you'd put it on the Guardian, but against this one you have to deal with Earthshock and Hex.
Right, that's a good point. You don't want to all in you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. Make the Twilight Guardian the face twice?
No, I think he's gonna trade. I think he's just weighing in his options. The trade is very good there. That Farseer is interesting though.
Shaman hand. Outside of that Lava Burst.
You can completely clear this board with spells. You can do Lightning Bolt, Lava Shock on the Pyromancer, and then Lava Burst on the 3/5.
Alright, Hex accomplishes the same thing. However, there's still going to be minions following up. This would be a fantastic play if Thijs didn't have any minions to play, but he still has some. I think you still, like, assuming he doesn't pick anything else up.
Oh, that's a good thing to pick up.
Yep, that's perfect. Because if you played Cabal Shadow Priest, he wouldn't get the value, and he is about to get the value.
Well, you can get a Hex as well. I think he has 2. He seems to draw at least 1 every single game. Oh, wow.
It's a lot of juggles as time goes on.
Are you sure we're out of GBG and Nax cards?
If you're missing Implosion, you can always just use Feral Spirits.
Ostkaka saves an attack on his Doomhammer as the priest is at 30, and attacking once might not actually accomplish anything. If the priest has floating mana, he would just heal.
No value on the Cabal, but you know, even though we see the Feral Spirits, Thijs just wants to take a very strong aggressive stance onto the board. Knife Juggler and 2 Feral Spirits costs 8 mana. So
2 charges on the weapon just in case a Rock Biter is drawn.
Yeah, it makes sense.
More healing. Thijs is back up to full HP again.
I wonder if he's just gonna hold on to it, but I think he should still play the Farseer. Except he has no
Nefarian.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for the heal thing, because you might draw into lethal. You might not need Nefarian. The moment you pick up Blackwing Corruptor, the game's over. From that perspective. But we know that
Knife Juggler, what you got? These could be some really good juggles.
Put this apple on your head.
It just needs to land on minions and not face.
I think it just has to land on the 1 minion. There's a very small chance you actually kill the...
Good, because you really need to start maximizing your damage as much as possible. It's also, you don't really give up too much more damage, and it's just like a really effective way to do it. I don't know if you want to even attack with the Doomhammer, because if you pick another Doomhammer, you can still attack with it after you...
You also have to keep in mind that, you know, Thijs doesn't know that Ostkaka has more taunts. So if he plays Nefarian and kills 1 taunt here, he still has the Shadow Word Pain. Rock Biter and Ancestral's Call. Well, one of those is decent. The Rock Biter might counter another taunt minion. So if he gets like another Shadow Word Pain or another way to kill the 3rd taunt minion, he might push for lethal here.
Yeah, sure. Let's see, 3, 6, 8, 10, 15, 17 damage. Still a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, with, by the way, the upside of Juggles.
That's a great juggle.
Oh
That's
my god.
Excellent juggle.
Ty's shaking his head. Oh, devastating.
I think it's time to go. It's time to go. Just all at face. Let's go.
I bet he wished that Cabal Shadow Priest stole one of the wolves. That'd be great. Now Shadow of Pain, Rock Biters. You only can clear so much. Yeah, you can hit face. You can clear. You can clear one of the walls by stealing it. You can shoot it with the spell, and he has the Rock Biter.
Even Thijs is surprised. He's like, "Whoa, I won!"
Yeah, I think he was really devastated by that previous play. And that means we're going to game 5. That was pretty epic.
It was pretty epic. That Nefarian came down just in time. I think if he actually held back on Nefarian, he would have lost that game.
Yeah, too defensive of playing anecdotal evidence plus theory crafting. You know, some of these matchups that you'll see in, say, the upcoming winter preliminaries this weekend for North America.
How many of these things am I going to drop to get Fiery War Axe? I need Fiery War Axe. You know, how deep are we going here?
Right.
We're going deep. 3.
He even throws away Bash, which is a card that you can definitely use, but he'd rather have that early game. Oh, wait, no, he kept Bash. Okay, well, looks like.
No, I think he drew into the other one.
Oh, exactly, then. It just so happened to be the same position.
I think if you have to weigh in all the cards you might draw, if you play Tunnel Trog, the chance that you get 1, 2, or 3 mana overload is really, really, really high.
Put this apple on your head.
Alright, works for me. Juggler comes out. The War
Fiery War
off the
Axe!
top. Oh my god. Wow.
Wow.
He leans in like, oh wow, I can't believe I got that.
Oh,
you know
there's
what?
the overload card. I think if you hero power, the warrior might not clear it. You might get some presence on the board, and
Right.
you can ancestral next turn, which you probably would anyway, because you can't do it on the turn after that.
Right. Next turn, he doesn't. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He has Doomhammer. He wants to Doomhammer on 5. He wants to Ancestral on 3 so he can escape that overload. I get why he played his minions. Okay.
My eyes.
Farseer number 1. By the way, he has Bash, Farseer. He has like 3 Farseers, basically. And the reason Thijs can't survive the early game.
It would really suck to have to use a rock biter here, but I think that's what we're about to see.
Yeah. You know, realistically, it might be the case where Ostkaka feels like the only way he can win is to build up a very imposing board presence. So he's just going to forego that and use Doomhammer the same way he did last game.
Mm-hmm.
Another Fiery War Axe. How does he do it? You know, it feels like the Dragon Warrior was waiting for this kind of start all tournament long. This could be the first time that we've seen, like, this imposing of a start.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I take that back. We did see one time.
Well, it has failed to do that, and we're 4 turns in, so this is a pretty rough spot to be in.
Man, Lava Shocking. That is not ideal at all.
That's the worst totem. It has 1 free armor.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 free armor.
Well, I think you can take the time to initiate the Azure Drake. Even
No.
Oh, you're gonna actually go for
You get
it.
2 full health armor smiths. This is so hard to deal with that. How do you beat that? It's impossible. And we know Ostkaka doesn't have elemental destruction, at least from what we've seen, but we've seen a lot of that.
All right,
You just don't have enough damage.
The Farseer is actually worth so much more health than 3 in this scenario.
Yeah.
You have no choice but to hit face.
Yeah. Any minions that are played actually give a ridiculous amount of armor. Oh my god!
Oh man, Thijs is about to completely run away with this game. He's got tank up. I mean, at this point, he's gonna need like 3 Doomhammers to get through everything. Because
the only chance he has is
up
the
alone
face.
against the Doomhammer damage. Not even.
He has to.
Alex is probably a little bit too mature for that.
Mm-hmm. No, I just feel like Ostkaka right now is calculating the absolute best possible case with draws if he goes face. And it looks like he's realized he can't win if he goes face. That's why we're seeing some minion destruction here.
Yeah. And he's going to kill both Armor Smiths. Just kind of suck it up. So So the armor smiths gained
Just one.
8 health. Oh, sorry, 5 health so far for it.
Alright, well, the Azure Drake drops any kind of dragon synergy, but armor up, boys. Tank up, in fact. Wow. Well, there's the rock bite.
It's almost, it feels like he was all in on the plan of being super defensive, but it does have one of the best defenses I've seen in a while.
Alright, what are we looking for here? I think Paladin minions are pretty decent. Oh, we're looking for face, apparently.
Oh yeah, you just need to generate damage somehow. Some way, somehow. You need to hunt your hero power to keep the tank up in check. You're gonna kill the minions with this?
Yep.
Kill the armor smith and the Azure Drake and really kind of get mileage out of hitting with minions repeatedly. But it doesn't matter because he's got bash, shield slam. Oh, no dragon though. So if you want to be really safe, but it's almost, it's somewhat inconsequential in the big picture. I think Ostkaka might be locked out.
Like, I just don't see how his draws are going to be significantly better than Thijs's. And that warrior, I mean, by the time he can even possibly die, he's going to collectively have, what, like 50 health?
Something like that. If we bashes, I think.
Yeah, I think you'll have to leave the Bran up.
The cavalry's here.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate. So let's kill the farce here, and I guess we'll go to work. No one said it was easy, Ostkaka.
Okay. A dragon will do it. And a dragon
Did. Having the druid steal one from the rogue was such a big deal, because now it ends up giving him the extra edge, and that's going to wrap up the series. Thijs is our second finalist to face against the Beats for the right to call themselves the Cursed Trials champions.
Well,